Hello. Today we're going to be analysing the most common species there is, basic straight people. Standard deviation straights are hetero kings and queens with a stable household income and a secure attachment style. These straight white boohoo Somersets have no real trauma, other than being a bit disappointed by the new Taylor Swift album and getting their heart broken by their childhood sweetheart, who they went on to marry and have 1.2 kids with in their 2.0 car driveway. Standard deviation straights are everywhere. They're buying all the property you can't afford, they're stealing the credit for your hard work, and they're wearing whatever they want on a night out without getting heckled by perverts. Standard deviation straights don't need to stand out. They excel simply by existing. These normcore street civilians look like they play tennis, but only in doubles. They've never been single. Not because they're afraid of being alone with their thoughts like a real person, but because they know they just have so much love to give that they have to share it with another 100% hetero human. These early bird go-getters are real goofballs. They'd even put the fun in funeral, which doesn't make sense because they've never been to one. Everyone they love is definitely still alive. Standard deviation straights love drinking lager and sometimes wine, but not in a gay way, so they don't have to get drunk to quieten their demons. They put the bottle back in the fridge whenever they start feeling frisky. Why would they want to dull themselves down when life is already amazing enough sober? These granola bars don't have mental health. They have no concept of inner turmoil, and the only time they cried out in agony was when they stubbed their toe on a plug. Standard deviation straights love hiking, but not in a I'm going to drag you to the forest and kill you type of way. That would be barbaric. They just love a good trip to the woods. However, they'll never go to the woods to trip. And if they do find themselves in an ayahuasca ceremony somewhere in their mid-30s, their self-revelations will be so trivial that they would have just been better off having a head rush from a half marathon or going for a cheeky curry after their weekly sauna as part of their work wellness initiative that they're secretly really looking forward to. Standard deviation straights always have health care, but they never get sick. The closest thing to a viral infection they ever got was when they posted a couples dance on TikTok and it got 500 likes. The only time these wholesome handholders ever felt an emptiness in their chest was when they got a bit peckish around lunchtime because they hadn't eaten since breakfast. But with a healthy homemade salad to see them through their hunger pains, they'll soon be ready to smash the day in the most polite and non-confrontational way possible, nibbling their mixed leaves respectfully in between Zoom calls. Standard deviation straights don't know any queer people in real life, other than the gay guy who goes to their gym who they've never spoken to and listens to Bad Bunny on his AirPods, or their hairdresser, or potentially their brother who has a funny walk and used to spend a lot of time alone with the horses in the stables late at night. But they promise they're still an ally, they're just not quite sure how or in what way. But once they find out, we better be prepared to feel really accepted by them. Their dad's an architect and their mum owns a real estate licence. So standard deviation straights grew up thinking the Overton window was the name of a glassware company.
My dad's actually dead.
What?
Standard deviation straights want to know what you got up to on the weekend, but it's important that you never tell them the truth. They're just frightened of silence, and the only way they know how to relate to someone who doesn't have children is by keeping the conversation so deeply surface level that it would have been more efficient if they never said anything at all. There you go. I don't think it's bigoted to admit that standard deviation straights just have an alternative lifestyle. They're different to us, which is why you can't get too close without running the risk of an infection. They believe in concepts such as marriage, monogamy and traditional family values, as well as other disgusting things like doing the dishes by hand and budgeting. I don't care what they do in the comfort of their own homes, but please, let's not teach their deprived way of life in our schools, indoctrinating innocent children into becoming straight. And please, let's keep the big straight agenda out of my church. If you identify as a standard deviation straight, it doesn't make you a bad person, just a deeply flawed, sinful one with a terrible taste in fashion. But there is help out there, and I believe you can change. Conversion therapy is possible. It's time to pray this straight away and stop giving in to your basic primal urges. If you or a loved one are struggling with your straightness, it's time to call 1-800-GET-BENT and come back to gay Jesus. Stop worshipping at the altar of straighten today.